Your Daily 180, 180 seconds of pure Bible study.
Thank you for being with us today for this, your Daily 180 Bible study. We're talking about the sin of favoritism, and we're in James chapter 2. Join me, verse number 1. My brethren, do not hold the faith of our Lord Jesus Christ, the Lord of glory, with partiality. For if there should come into your assembly a man with gold rings and fine apparel, and there should also come in a poor man in filthy clothes, and you pay attention to the one wearing the fine clothes, and say to him, you sit here in a good place, and say to the poor man, you stand there, or sit here at my footstool, have you not shown partiality among yourselves and become judges with evil thoughts? Listen, my beloved brethren, has God not chosen the poor of this world to be rich in faith and heirs of the kingdom which he promised to those who love him? Now here's the point that we need to see. Here James is saying there's some reasons why you should not show favoritism. You know, as a matter of fact, he's going to make the point in the next verse, in verse number 6, that many of the rich people are actually oppressing you. And so one of the things that we need to realize, you can't look at a rich person and say, wow, he's a really diligent, good person. We need to pay respect to him. And you can't look at a rich person and say, he's a crook. He stole that money from someone else. Likewise, you can't look at a poor person and say, well, he's a really good person because he's poor. And you can't look at the poor person and say, why, he's a deadbeat. You don't know those things. It takes more than outward appearance to determine those things. But we need to realize, you know what? In Matthew chapter 11 and verse 5, one of the proofs that Jesus was the Christ was he came and he preached the gospel to the poor. And so we need to understand the importance of that. Jesus tells us that it's the rich who were oppressing them. Why would they show favoritism toward the very ones who were in fact oppressing them? A very simple reason: selfishness, envy. Listen to James chapter 3, beginning at verse 14. If you have bitter envy and self-seeking, selfishness, in your hearts, do not boast and lie against the truth. This wisdom does not descend from above, but is earthly, sensual, and demonic. Now listen to verse 16. For where envy and self-seeking exist, confusion and every evil thing are there. Why would someone want to show favoritism to the very type of person who is oppressing them? Because they're full of envy and selfishness, and they're looking out for themselves. They're not looking out for what's right and what's good. And when we show favoritism, we're showing that we're actually very selfish people. Join us again tomorrow for your Daily 180.